What up, though? It's your man, Kurt Steele, and welcome to the Lions Den. For the first time, I'd like to introduce you to my new co-host, my man, Wills. Wills, tell people about yourself and where you're from and what do you do?
Yeah, absolutely. What's up, everybody? I'm Wills. I'm from Metro Detroit. I went to U of M, graduated in 2015, and I was a teacher for 2 years in Metro Detroit. But I've grown up in the area my whole life. I'm cursed to follow those four teams, most notably the Lions, so I'm right there with you. Lions faithful. We'll get through this year. Not going to be 0-16, but beyond that guarantee, I don't know what it'll be. Yeah, I'm excited to have somebody else to talk about Lions with, and Kurt, and just hoping for some better play going on forward.
All right, fellas. All right. Lions Den. We are going to be bringing you some exciting stuff over the next several weeks of the season. Looking at the game coming up, my man Will's give you the outlook you have for the Patriots game.
Well, just check the lines right now. It's supposed to be Lions +7, so we're the underdogs, obviously, going up against the Pats. On prime time, they're coming up off a loss. Truthfully, I think we're walking into a buzzsaw, my man. I got reports that Slay is in a red no contact jersey, my bad. So he's going through walkthroughs, but that doesn't really mean anything if he's not cleared to play physically in practice. I'm not sure what Josh Gordon's going to do on the outside. Don't really need to know too much of a playbook to just outrun Tease Tabor or anybody else we're going to put on this guy. So that's a concern for me. Jared Davis in coverage trying to cover Gronk is a concern for me. I love him in the run defense, but I think we're in for a long Sunday night, my man. Long Sunday night.
Yeah, that seems to be the consensus going around the country. There's not one major media outlet that's picked the Lions to win this game. I have to agree with you. I have to look at the game. The defensive side of the ball is where we're going to struggle. I don't think the Patriots defense isn't playing that well. So I think it's going to be a shootout. I think that if we can get up and down the field, that's going to be the key to trying to at least try to squeak something out of this game because their defense, they didn't record any sacks last week. Our passing offense is not even comparable to Jacksonville. Their offense isn't that. Right. Blake Bortles isn't that great of a quarterback. So if they can pass the ball up and down the field on the Pats, I believe we can too. But if you can't stop anybody, that's going to be the downfall of the game.
Right. We've seen Lions teams like this in the past where they trade points back and forth. My concern, and hopefully they got it worked out, we can put up points. I mean, on paper, apparently Decker's not playing. That's a totally different can of worms I don't even want to go into. His best year is his rookie year. But Stafford has the ability. You got Jones and Tate on the outside. They both had over 1,000 yards receiving last year. The tight end situation is probably the biggest question mark in my opinion. I wasn't a big Ebron fan, but he's producing in Indianapolis, and the guys we've brought in haven't really contributed in any facet of the game, really. But it's going to depend on Stafford. I mean, you look back at San Francisco, he missed 4 downfield throws, 3 of them to Marvin Jones, where he normally hits those. Yeah. And if he does, it's a totally different game.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on with that. That's a definitely question mark for me. I was wondering what was going on with that. But Roberts had a good play in the end zone. That was a good touchdown for him from the tight end group. That was a surprise for me.
Yep. Right. He was a former 4th-round pick a couple years ago, too. I think it's the second year, actually, in the league. I'd like to see him get more involved. But, I mean, I like to see these comebacks. It just feels the same to me every game. I want you to lose by enough so I can be disengaged from my television. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be glued to my seat for you to just you're tempting me with lies, and now I'm fully invested, and here we go again. It's just another heartbreaking loss. But no, I hear you. They have the capability of putting points on anybody. The run game has been vastly improved. They were averaging close to 5 yards a carry last week. I don't know why we were down by enough, but I'd like to see the run game have more of a commitment coming into this week. Like you said, New England's not really known for their defense, so I think we can take advantage of that, but only time will tell.
Yeah. Like I don't know what's going on with that Teddy Decker thing. He just seems to be. I don't know. He mispracticed today. It was not injury related. Look at the injury report. It wasn't something where he was hurt. It may just be a personal issue or something going on. Now,
Right.
Slade was at the walkthrough. Only time will tell if he gets cleared from the protocol. If he does, I think you can slide Shed over to cover Gronk. Just because of the fact that he's a bigger corner. He's a 6'2", and that's not quite the same as 6'7", but that's bigger than any. Remember the secondary we got currently on the roster. All our safeties are only 6 feet or under, and all the so are our corners. Yeah. So I mean 6'2" with Shed. That may be the best option. I mean, but still, he can't physically match up with Gronk.
Right. I mean, on paper, he's probably the best matchup. Gronk's going to get his. Our secondary outside of Slay and Diggs, I mean, if he didn't have that penalty, those are the two guys that really stand out to me. Tabor was horrible last week. I don't want him anywhere near Gronk. Lawson, I like Lawson, but he's undersized. We talked about that with Gronk's measurables. That's going to be tough to contain. But, yeah, I think you're onto something there with putting on the bigger guy, try to slow him down a little bit. Like I said, I still think he's going to get his, but we both think this is going to be a high-scoring game. Vegas has the over-under set at 56. So
yeah, that's a pretty good
54 rather. So
that's a pretty good scoring game. Yeah, I think it's going to be a shootout. I'm just like I said, I just hope that we can get enough stops. The surprise on the injury report for me was Marvin Jones with the ankle.
Right.
But I think that with Golladay, I think Golladay can slide to the outside, and because he's been playing a lot of slot lately, so I think he can slide to the outside, and maybe you can throw Jones, TJ Jones, the other Jones in if Marvin can't go. But I think Marvin's a gamer though. I think he'll play. I would like to see them get
be suited up.
Yeah, I think I want to see Kerryon Johnson more. I think that he has an innate ability to make some big plays, and I think if we utilize him more, it'd be good.
I agree 100%. He's not really underrated. It just hasn't been used that much. Coming out of the backfield, he's got some of those receiver abilities. Not as good as Theo, but in terms of his ability out of the backfield, I'd like to see that being utilized a little bit more by Jim Bob Cooter as well. I mean, I'm all for LeGarrette Blount. I understand his role on this team, and even more so the mentor type of leadership title he has with that running back group. But, he is what he is. He's a strong downhill runner. He's going to get you those tough short yards. He's going to get you those goal line touchdowns. But beyond that, I'm really confused as to why we're not utilizing our more dynamic backs. Like you said, Kerryon. I'm a big Theo Riddick fan. I'd like to see him working out of the slot a little bit more if possible. But, I mean, like we said, on paper, they got everything. I love what Kenny's doing. I think he's going to, knock on wood, develop into potentially being that wide receiver one you want. I've never considered Marvin really a first option. He's a very, very, very good receiver. Don't get me wrong, very good. But in an ideal world, I think he's the perfect complement at the number 2. So maybe Kenny continues his ascent this season. He's been playing great 2 games in. I love his hard work mentality, especially that fumble he recovered from San Francisco. Doesn't give up on play.
That was nasty.
Yeah, right. We have too many injuries on the defensive side. Maybe throw Kenny G in there. He laid the wood on my man.
Woo!
And he got the fumble back. He stopped him. But
that was a good play.
Hey, if Stafford can't get these guys the ball, it's all going to be for naught.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's got to be better than he was last year or last game. The box score, it's a perfect Pat Stafford. You and I talked about it earlier in the week. You know, if you don't watch the game, you just see what he did, over 300 yards passing, 3 TDs, you might think he has a good game. And you really have to be paying attention from the beginning. Some of those passes, a lot of those yards are dump-offs during garbage time when defenses are in prevent.
Yeah. Like that.
Turn it on a little bit sooner, man. You're in year 10 now. These excuses of he doesn't have enough or give him some time. I'm at my wit's end with it.
Yeah. I think he's I think if the offensive line can hold it like it now, he only got sacked twice last week, so I mean I can't.
Right, they played better than people were giving them credit for.
They played.
Myself initially, I was on them, but you look at stats, they did I'll say above average. They did an above average job protecting him against a defense that's not really, I don't know, intimidating. They got pieces. DeForest Buckner is obviously great.
But he guy's a beast.
Yeah, I mean 6'7", like 280. He was giving Ragnow troubles. He's been struggling this year. Speaking of the offensive line, but I give him a longer leash than anybody else. You don't really hear about Glasgow, and that's a really good thing for offensive linemen, right? You say the same thing about cornerbacks. If you don't hear their name, they're doing a good job. Glasgow and Wagner have been our two best linemen so far. I give Ragnow a bit of a leash because he's a rookie. You got to learn the ropes. It's tough. Regular season snaps are totally different from preseason snaps and in-game adjustments and what have you. But I don't like to rag on guys who are hurt. TJ Lang has had a tough time staying on the field, kind of like Ziggy Ansah on the defensive side. It's tough to place trust in guys. You know they can produce. You know they're good. But if you're not reliable, what are you really bringing to the team? I'd rather have a consistent average left guard or right guard in there than an above-average guy who can only play sporadically throughout the season, which is what Lang and Decker are showing us right now.
Right. I don't know what's going on with Decker. Decker's having a lot of penalties this year. I mean, that's not typically his MO. I mean, he's usually a solid tackle. I mean, he's high draft pick. Like you said, his rookie year was his best. Last year he was hurt for most of the year, came back late in the season.
Right.
But I don't know what's going on with that guy. I mean, he's just been playing sloppy. I mean, the whole team has been like the penalties has really been an issue with the team this year. That's really been really sloppy.
Big time.
Yeah, I mean,
which is weird to me. I mean, that's the defense. I mean, the detail-oriented coaching philosophy that Patricia puts in. Maybe if it's too much of an information overload for these guys, if they're not going over the assignments like they should. That was a topic of conversation, right? We don't have a culture of winning, or we don't have a history of playing consistently good football season after season after season. So, past decade, you'd see the Lions, they would over-succeed, or people would underestimate how good they would play. You talked about in 2011 when they went to the wild card and they got bounced by the Saints. Nobody was expecting to do anything.
Right.
So then the next year when the expectations are higher, these guys don't know really how to handle it. They underachieve. Right. I haven't seen penalties like this since Jim Schwartz took over. And I give him kind of a pass on that reckless play because he was trying to instill a culture. He was trying to have that chip on the shoulder. This is coming off of like 0-16. You got to be playing energetic. I mean, let Sue be the bad guy. Let these guys get a little bit physical after the play.
Yeah. But
penalties like that, I'm not supportive of them, but I understand it. You're trying to energize these guys. You're geeking them up to try to make a play. Offsides.
The LeGarrette Blount penalty, really, I think that kind of energized the team.
Totally unacceptable. And this is a guy who Patricia's been propping up as he knows what we're about. He was in New England. I got a great connection with this player. What does it say to Patricia if, I don't know what his relationship is with the rest of the team. He likes to keep that information close to the vest. A lot of former players say Patricia's a really hands-on personal guy and they love him. But what does it say if a player who's been so outspoken and so I'm about Patricia, I'm going to do things the right way? What does it say if he does that right in front of Patricia? He was like 10 feet away from LeGarrette.
Yeah, he was right there next to him.
Does he have any control over this team if his number one guy isn't even doing what he wants? These are real questions I have for a rookie coach.
Yeah, that was a question mark for me. However, I think that the team really kind of responded to that. I mean, it was being a bonehead play that it was. I think it kind of gave him a little bit of edge for the rest of the game.
I think it definitely helped. After that moment, Stafford did play way better. I will say that definitely had a positive impact on Stafford.
Because he kind of came to his defense, and I think he was like, okay, this guy's got my back. And yeah, I think that kind of fired up the offense. I think they were like, hey, but still, it was bonehead. I mean, but it gave Kerryon more touches. What do you think of? I think The one person I think that's kind of missing, and I think we need to go ahead and look at moving him to see what kind of assets we can get for him, is Abdullah. I mean, the dude's been inactive for the first 2 weeks. Yeah. I mean, let's move on. If we're gonna move on from him, let's move on. You're looking at where it's you're not utilizing them. Yeah, I know it's good to kind of have a stable of backs, but we don't. Right. If you're not, he's a commodity. You can use that guy.
Right. I've been saying the same thing since the beginning. I was a Amir believer. Mm-hmm. So rookie year, he came in with an injury, or he was a rookie. He was pretty good. And then he got hurt with turf toe. Yeah. And then last year he had an injury he was rehabbing from. The cards didn't really align. I say that because I still think there's some ability there. It's just there's no opportunity on this roster.
Right.
So he's definitely got some type of value for another roster or another team out there. I remember when Amazon was running – excuse me, they're behind the scenes documentary kind of on the Arizona Cardinals. Mm-hmm. They were super geeked up about Amir. They were like 2 picks away from taking him. Lions ended up snagging him in the draft. They took David Johnson. I think that ended up better for them in the long run, but that just goes to show.
Yeah.
I mean, people are excited about him. They were. His measurables from the combine and what he did in college, it's still recent enough where you think you might be able to tap into that, but yeah, just on this roster alone, the Garrett's your short yardage back. Carry-on's going to eventually become the workhorse, in my opinion. And then you got Theo as the kind of scat back gadget. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, I mean, you got Zenner and a couple other cheap guys on the practice squad, too. I thought Amir might end up doing some kick returns, but you got Jamal Agnew, who's an all-pro. So
yeah,
really tough to find a position for him. I'm not a fan of holding on to people and not utilizing them. I think it would be good to see a change of scenery for him. And get something in return. If it's a 4th, 5th, even 6th round pick, I'll take depth for special teams any day of the week for a guy that's not really seeing the field.
The only issue that maybe he may see the field this week, just to the fact that with the injury to Agnew with the shoulder, he may be out for the game. So he may see the field this week, just in special teams, just because Agnew may be out. But just it now. Listen here, Dan. This is just a preview of the show, what we're going to have in store. I appreciate my man Wills coming on. This is going to be your Die Hard Den team for the rest of the season. Give some parting shouts out to the Die Hard fan base and let them know what you're going to do for the rest of the season.
Hey, we're going to be bringing some jaded looks if they keep looking the way that they are, but Kurt and I, we're realists. We're going to call it like we see it, and hopefully they don't rip our hearts out, man. Hopefully, but if they do, Kurt and I will be here to try to put that heart right back into your chest so we can get ready for the next week.
Well, all right, Die Hard Den. This was a quick introduction to the new Die Hard Den podcast team. This is your man Kurt Steele and your boy Wills. We're gonna be signing off. We'll catch you after the week. We're gonna be posting this weekly. So after the next game, we'll see you about midweek with a new episode of the Die Hard Den podcast. Until then, this is your man Kurt Steele and Wills. We out.